Hello there, and welcome to yet another emulator tutorial video. Today we're going to go over a DS emulator called DeSmuME, or DeSmuME as some people call it. So let me just quickly load it up. This emulator is quite cool because, you know, it emulates a DS down to its entirety. And I'm not massively experienced with this emulator, but I did have to mess with the settings to get it to run how I wanted to run after I set up the setup wizard. I basically found some advice online that shows how to get this to run flawlessly on low-end specs. I usually go with smooth frame rate and that than graphical fidelity usually when it comes to running emulators. So we're going to do a good litmus test just to quickly show you the emulator working as it does. Of course, naturally, my best go-to when it comes to testing a game is usually Mario Kart. Also, this game can have its full screen done. You can also customize the screens the way you want them. We'll get onto that in a minute. But as you can see here, you've got the game running fine. I'll just quickly load up Grand Prix and show off real quick one like lap or something. Players dry bones. Any couple will do, of course, naturally, because it's just... Yeah, there's a couple of graphical issues with this, naturally. I get flickering sometimes when I'm starting up a course, but it goes away. Also, I prefer that to be turned off and just have the mini course. I have definitely not played this for a long time. It definitely feels a bit strange playing it. So yeah, as you can see, it's running pretty much flawlessly. There's no issues here. Let's see if we can get Wario with one of these. This is just another Mario Kart game I can just play forever, because it's such a good game. So yeah, we're going to complete our first lap, and then I'll show you the features that DeSmuME can do. Okay, there we go. So naturally, you can, you know, you've got your usual stuff that you have with emulators, like its par and course at this point, such as like your save states and your loading states. You can do backup memory as well on here, which is quite nice. Now, the one good thing about this emulator is that you can actually record WAVs and AVIs, which is interesting. Also, play and record movie is a function on here too, much very similar to VBA. I don't know if there's a rewind feature though, I'm not too sure. Here you can customize your LCD layouts. So, say you want it like a regular DS, you can do this. Me personally, I prefer the other layout more because it's more full screened in that sense. Also, you can change it just to the one LCD. In that sense, I've definitely not done a very good job of organizing my LCDs for singular usage, but I never really use this unless there's a game that's played exclusively on top or bottom screen. That's the only time I ever used this feature. So let me go back to my usual viewpoint. You can change your window size, and you can maintain your aspect ratio and stuff like that. You've also got your frame skipping, and you can limit your frame rate. I usually have one frame skipped if I'm having issues, which I rarely do, to be honest, when I play games on here. Now, another interesting feature on here is that there is GBA slots. However, I cannot seem to get this to work. I've tried many times to open GBA files through this. I'm sure there's people out there that would think to throw the GBA emulators aside and just get this and then use this exclusively. I can understand why people would want to do that, but as of this version that I'm using, I don't think there's a way to get it to run correctly, unless there's like a later version that actually runs this feature better now, but I highly doubt it. I haven't really kept up on the emulator details for this that much. There probably is a feature now that lets you use the slots, but for some reason the slots are here, but every time I go to load up GBA files it just doesn't run for some reason. I'm just better off using VBA or MGBA, Visual Boy and MGBA for GBA stuff anyway, and they're not massively they're not going to take up a lot of hard drive space, to be honest. They're quite small emulators to install. You can also do save types, internal or from database. I stick with internal, which I believe is like cartridge data. You've got your control configuration, of course, much like every other emulator out there. You can just you press up on your keyboard like I've done. You click on here, you go on your controller and you just press it up. But it also means the button is already mapped as well. It'll change the colour of the text, I believe. I'm just going to press cancel because there was really nothing worth saving there. You've got your firmware settings here. For some reason the nickname's Yopo. I can't pronounce it. This was already installed on here. This is like for this was just the standard stuff that comes with the DS. I don't know if you can actually go onto the DS home screen. I don't know if there's an actual way to go back to it, or if there's a way to load up to it. I don't think it's actually on here. But your firmware settings can just be changed through here anyway. Let me find out if there is a way to figure that out. I'm not too sure. You can also view memory and stuff, so you can edit stuff, registers. You can even view palettes. This is much like VBA in a lot of ways. It shares a lot of similarities in some parts. Of course, naturally, you've got your cheats, which I don't have any on here because I don't really mess around with them that much, unless they're installed on certain ROMs. The way the DS emulator works, by the way, when it comes to getting your files or your games, works just like the GBA. Go to link in the description for both places. Download the games that you want, and then just basically extract them through your inbuilt extraction through Windows, essentially. And then just pull the game that you want out and put into a nice folder, and then you can just open what you want, like I do here. They always come as NDS files as well, by the way, which is quite spiffy. Also, you can do RAM watch and RAM search, which are two features I don't really use. You can also change layers. I have everything enabled in that sense. There's also scripting, which I don't mess with. That's definitely something out of my expertise. But other than that, yeah, this emulator is very good. It just feels like GBA or MGBA with like better features thrown on top and a little bit of extra depth thrown into the mixture. And in other senses, it plays just like a DS does, really, which is quite nice. I'll quickly load up one more game whilst I'm here. Trying to find a good one to showcase, just to put something in. I suppose Dynasty Warriors DS could be another good one. This is originally this was originally on GBA as well, or rather, it was cancelled. It was going to be put on GBA, and then it got cancelled and moved to the DS version. There is a Dynasty Warriors for GBA though, but it plays very differently. Might want to turn my music down. Music sounds very stutterish. No, I'm not going to do tutorial. 3 years. I've never really played this on emulator actually, so this is quite interesting to see if it's as accurate as I remember. Because I do actually have this for DS, like IRL DS. Gotta select cards. Okay, that should be everything that I need. Or do I need to select more cards? I've backed out twice, I didn't need to do that. Sorry, it's been a while since I've actually started this. How'd you start the match? It's been a long time since I've done this. Yeah, I'm floundering right now, pretty badly. I think the game just wants me to set up the cards before I play, usually. Okay, press OK. There we go. Sorry, that took me a while. So yeah, this seems to run fine. It's got stuttery sound though. That's probably the only downside I can seem to find with this. This game feels very simplistic on a DS, to be fair. But then again, you know, it is what it is. It's the best they could do, I guess you could say. But this runs fine. It's got a bit of stuttery sound, but then again, your mileage may vary, depending on your hardware and stuff like that. And sometimes a DS ROM can just be that way at times. You can also do this, which is the shut up function, which I don't know what the shut up function actually does. I thought it would just mute it, but it doesn't, strangely enough. Speaking of audio, you can configure your audio here, I believe. Also, yeah, there's a microphone function here too. I've never really used it, but you can use the microphone. So if there's games with microphones, you can use them. You have to set it up a certain way though. You can also do your emulation settings here. Just trying to find audio. Background display method. Sound settings, here we go. So yeah, you can change your different type of sound and stuff. You can even change your volume to how you want it. You can even turn it all the way down if you so desire. I usually put it at 15. That's the best increment I find most of the time. And of course, naturally, you can close your ROM or reset it and stuff. And that's pretty much DSMUE. Or DSMU. DESMUME. I just call it DSMUE because it's just my way of saying it, I suppose. But yeah, I'll leave a link in the description linking you to this emulator as well as the library of games. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Ciao for now.